Have you ever gone on a road trip and observed a certain tree or plant that just stood out to you? What if I told you that just like people, plants have a life and a story? Welcome to Plant Life. Today, I'd like to share 10 weird and rare Texas native plants. Come along and share some stories and history that I'm sure will stay with you. And if nothing else, you'll get some good coffee talk to impress your friends and family. First up, we have the Texas prickly pear. You may have noticed it's actually a cactus, but that didn't stop it from becoming the state plant of Texas. What makes the Texas prickly pear so unique is every part of the cactus is edible. It's both a vegetable and a fruit. The cactus has large flat pads. After removing the thorns, sometimes people grill, fry, or dice it up, creating a tasty dish. The real prize of the Texas prickly pear is that it bears a unique fruit called a tuna that ripens from July to September. The tuna is so delicious and sweet, sometimes people just pull over to the side of the road to collect the tuna. Now, wouldn't you love to tell the story of a time that you were so adventurous that you ordered and ate up a plate of cactus with the side of tuna? Next, we have the Texas redbud tree. The redbud is known as the Jujube Tree. The legend goes that before the crucifixion, the redbud was tall and strong like a white oak. When Judas realized what he had done to cause Jesus' death on a cross, Judas hung himself on the redbud. When the tree realized what role it played, it no longer grows tall and strong to be used for hanging. The Texas redbud tree is hardy in warm weather, but it's now viewed as a smaller tree or a large shrub. It has deep purple and pink flowers that bloom in clusters along the bare branches in March and April. I sometimes wonder if that amazing, beautiful magenta color is trying to get your attention just to make you hear its story. This lovely flower is Harrison's yellow, also known as the yellow rose of Texas. Most of you have heard of the yellow rose of Texas, but that's actually a folk song dating back to the 1850s, paying homage to the accidental heroine of the Texas independence. This rose bush is very hardy. It has thorny stems and can have a height of 4 to 8 feet. These cheerful yellow blooms just smile right at you to tell you winter is over and spring has arrived. It has a unique fruity fragrance that lasts 3 to 4 weeks. What a great, beautiful flower to pay tribute to a heroine. And now, an oldie but a goodie, the Texas live oak tree. These massive, majestic trees are heat tolerant, with a large, dense canopy for lots of relaxing shade. It's called a live tree because these large trees gradually replace leaves throughout the year, so they look live. This tree has plentiful sweet acorns in its 300-year lifespan that grow from October to December. These acorns can be eaten, but they're challenging to shell, so keep your hammer on standby. Best to plant them in the fall to allow new root growth, because in the spring it will use its energy to put out new leaves. Just imagine, as we get older, we too get to be more majestic and look as strong, as lively as the Texas live oak tree. And as a follow-up, we have chicken of the woods. Chicken of the sea? No, silly, chicken of the woods. It's an edible polypore mushroom. Look how out of the ordinary this mushroom is. The color, the size, and how they grow on the edge of the Texas live oak tree like that. What an unexpected gift to see something so stunning. They grow on the older Texas live oak trees that have been trimmed or have their heartwood exposed. The mushroom feeds there and it helps decompose the wood of the dead trees. It has a chewy texture, and if you cook it thoroughly, it tastes just like chicken, and you can pull it apart with your fingers like chicken. I saw a recent article that says they're expensive, about $20 a pound at the farmer's market. Let us know if you've ever been lucky enough to try chicken of the woods. And did it taste like chicken to you? And this is the prostrate milkweed, one of my favorites due to the life source it supports. The monarch butterfly holds a special place in my heart. The nectar from this plant supports the bees and butterflies as they arrive in Texas in their migration south. It's amazing how these monarch butterflies travel south together and feed on this milkweed. They instinctively know to stay close together and keep warm, share the nectar as it gets colder until they arrive in Mexico. Once they get to Mexico, they order up a pitcher of margarita and some chips and guacamole. Just kidding, a little south of the border humor. But sadly, this Texas milkweed is endangered from development and habitat destruction. The monarch butterfly represents transformation and evolution, and for me especially, the spiritual evolution of our loved ones that is so very hard to let go of. As humans, it's important to know that what we do plays a role to even something so small and gentle. And this is the Texas blue bonnet. This gorgeous flower was named the state flower of Texas in 1901. It symbolizes sacrifice and bravery, especially of the pioneer women. The colors vary from pink, purple, white, but the blue ones are the most stunning. The legends vary, but the white represents the Lone Star, and pink honors the bravery. And just a quick safety tip, as one enjoys how beautiful they are, it's important to know that the flower is not edible. It's toxic. Do not eat. Although I personally don't know many people who eat flowers. And if you're lucky enough to come upon a beautiful wildflower field of bluebonnets, take your pictures and move on. Rattlesnakes and other creatures like to hide in a field of bluebonnets to enjoy their shade. They bloom for 6 weeks between March and April, just depends on the kind of winter. For a flower with bonnet in its name, it sure does have a lot of spunk. This is the southern magnolia of Texas. This elegant-looking tree symbolizes purity, nobility, and joy. Its beautiful white fragrant flower gets all the publicity. It blooms around May and June. The flower that blooms from the tree is symbolic of self-respect and self-esteem. It's not a delicate flower, more like a tulip, a tougher, beautiful flower. Perhaps that's why it seems to me to just have that strength of character. Magnolia tree also has glossy leaves, a shady canopy, and the only drawback is the leaves drop year-round as part of the growth cycle. Different animals survive from this tree, eating the leaves, barks, and twigs. Knowing what it stands for, it would be a special treat to give someone, or be given, this beautiful magnolia flower. This is the Pecan Tree. This Texas state tree is a large shade tree with the gift of giving. Texans love this relaxing shade tree. Imagine just spending the day reading a book there. This tree bears pecan nuts that can be harvested early September and is a great source of plant fiber. It is said that Governor James Hogg loved the pecan tree and requested a pecan tree be planted at his gravesite. This inspired the state legislature to make the Pecan Tree the official state tree. Now just imagine your favorite food went through the legislature like that. And this is the Jujube Tree. The name of it is interesting to say, but the Jujube is a Chinese date. These trees do very well in the Texas climate, one of the easiest in Texas to grow as they need little care and do not take much water. The Jujube grow late summer to fall with an apple-like texture and a pit in the center. The Jujube is high in potassium, which helps keep your blood pressure in check. They don't have a lot of problems with insects and diseases, so to a gardener, it's the perfect friend. Can you relate to this great Chinese date that you can put on a plate for a classmate? Thank you for joining us at Plant Life. For those with a green thumb, growing one seed at a time. We hope you enjoyed these weird and rare Texas native plants. See you next time, friend. Be kind, and we hope you enjoyed our video and had some smiles. Oh, and if you can, please subscribe. I've heard it makes the jokes get better.